so sick that you're telling the truth and my hand is insanely strong.
Just fold and I can go to the bathroom.
The blinds go up to 40-80 with a 10k ante. O'Dwyer raises his button with 8-10.
Standard button raise.
Pantling has king-5 suited in the big blind.
Suited king is a very easy defend and will be good at showdown often enough.
Pantling calls.
All about the post-flop play, heads up.
Well, let's see the flop. Wow, action guaranteed. Trips for O'Dwyer. The second nut flush draw for Pantling. Pantling checks.
I think Steve has got to bet here to try to build a pot. There are lots of bad turn cards, not just for Steve, but ones that could be bad for Andrew too, and therefore kill his action.
O'Dwyer does continue for 300,000.
Pantling obviously can't fold a draw this huge.
He calls. The turn card. It's a spade! It's the flush for Pantling.
Check.
He checks again.
Unfortunately for Steve, he cannot slow down here because a flush is just so unlikely. Worst part is, if Pantling decides to raise a bet here, I don't think Steve can fold. This is a spade to dig Andrew Pantling out of his hole and possibly a grave for Steve O'Dwyer.
600,000 is the bet on the turn.
Does Andrew go for the raise now?
Signs point to yes. That is 1.425 million.
Like I said, I don't think Steve can fold. He's beating a lot of other eights. He's beating all semi-bluffs, and when he's up against a flush, like now, he's got equity to boat up. Still, he is behind.
How much do you have left in green? Can you cut those out?
Pantling has 3.5 million behind.
The only question is, does Steve call and reevaluate or just go for the gusto here? Guess the good news for him either way is he can't go broke.
Pantling is praying that Steve lumps it in.
I'm all in.
O'Dwyer shoves! And Pantling calls.
8. Down, please, gentlemen. Is that a flush?
It is a flush. And Pantling will double up unless there is a Jack 10, 8 or 4 on the river. 10 outs for O'Dwyer, which would see him win the title, but there's a 77% chance that Pantling doubles up and we play on. It's an 8 on the river! It's quads for O'Dwyer that see him triumph here in Monaco and win the EPT 9 Grand Final main event! He's first to speak here with ace-4 of diamonds. He raises to 200k. Ace-jack for Boyka.
Domination Nation, and we should be seeing a 3-bet.
He re-raises to 625k.
I call.
Well, that means we're going to the flop.
Carlson seems so stressed out. I'm glad he didn't blast off there in the hopes of not having to make any post-flop decisions.
The flop is Queen 8 deuce. Ace-jack high, still the best hand. And no c-bet from Boyka.
Again, I think he's trying to induce bluffs from Carlson.
Well, Carlson is going to bet.
550.
Is it a value bet or a bluff?
Yes.
Boyka, an 80% favorite, calls. The turn card is a king, so Boyka picks up a gut shot and is still a commanding favorite.
Carlson's got barely a pot-sized bet left behind.
He checks behind. The river is a 7, so both players left with ace high. Boyka has the better ace and therefore has a lock on this hand. And he's checked for a 3rd time.
Mats, don't do anything crazy. Actually, something crazy might work.
I'm all in.
Carlson shoves the river.
It's quite the maneuver, but is it a convincing line?
2.56 million. into 2.37 million. It's polarizing for sure.
It's not the kind of bet you'd expect from a guy as a bluff at this stage, but what can he have? What a spot for Boyka. If he decides Carlsen's bluffing, Carlsen could easily be bluffing with something like bottom pair, and ace-jack still loses.
If Boyka decides that ace-jack high could be the best hand and calls, he's won the tournament.
You can see it in his eyes. He's picturing himself winning the tournament right now.
How much does Mats Carlsen want to fold here?
He can see it. He can see the trophy lift. How is Carlsen sitting there so comfortably? I would be freaking out.
Boyka putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
It's a break now, yeah?
Mats, don't speak!
It says 15 minutes. It's 1:15, yeah.
Shh, quiet. Well, Boyka's the one who's stressed out.
Boyka calls!
Nice call, they win.
It's over.
What do you have? Ace jack?
We have a winner!
Oh, wow.
What a call.
Nice call. Yeah. Good call.
Good game.
Yeah, good, okay. Now I mispaid the heads up, but wow. All right, good call.
With that amazing call, Alexei Boyka wins EPT Malta. Bendik's got tens.
This isn't a flip.
Here comes the re-raise. Bendik makes it 1.65 million.
Oh, now that he's got chips, he's not all jam happy. Well, they are pretty deep. It doesn't have to go all in pre-flop.
Alan just calls and he'll get to play the flop in position. And he flops a set. Maybe, just maybe, the ace will save Bendik from getting stacked here.
I don't know, the ace might be a scare card, but I'm pretty sure Bendik's fear receptors went out with popcorn ceilings.
He's continued the flop for 1.6 million. Alan calls. Will that slow Bendik down?
Nothing has slowed him down thus far.
The turn card is a 10.
That's ball game.
A cooler developing here, set over set.
Now Bendik finally slows down.
Bendik has checked it. Alan is betting. 1.5 million, a small bet into a huge pot.
Really small.
How much you play more?
Is this a terrible Hollywood or just a plain old D-gaff?
Then help.
I'm leaning toward the former. Alan breathing heavy. I think it's because he expects to have the best hand pretty much always.
Bendik loading up for a check raise. He makes it 4.25 million.
Everything in his hand has been standard up until this point. Against another player, Alan may not be loving this, but Bendik plays everything super fast, even two pair hands.
Just a call from Alan, and he's gonna need those quads again.
Oh man, I didn't even think of that. Nobody gets quads twice.
Complete brick on the river.
All in.
Bendik shoves. Alan calls, and it's over.
Let's everybody take a second to let this sink in. The grand final champion has been crowned.
Jan Bendik has won the EPT 12 Grand Final.
And France cannot believe it.
EPT 9 Player of the Year, 3-time main event finalist, and on his third occasion, he is a winner.
Good game, mate.
10-9 for Uri Reichenstein. He checks his option.
Cool that Uri's not taking a super long time with his decisions to torture the kid.
Oh, wow. Reichenstein is up and down while Mallet flops the nut flush draw. Uri bets.
Oh. Really? I raised 3 million.
800,000 becomes 3 million.
Kind of a weird raise. He's got showdown value already, and Uri might not fold a pair. If Uri wanted to get an edge, he could just start making water sounds or tell him his middle name is Nate.
Reichenstein calls the raise. The turn card is the 8 of hearts. What a card!
Welcome to Cooler City.
1 million here. This is 23.9. 5 million.
So Mallet has turned a flush. Reichenstein has turned a straight. This could decide the tournament.
Let's just fold and I can go to the bathroom. I mean, you don't have any strong hands when you just lead, like, yeah. I'm pretty sure you're going to just fold, so.
I can't tell if he's talking too much or just the right amount.
Reichenstein doesn't look like he's folding.
How you call? Very brave, very brave. Very brave indeed. Very brave indeed.
The river card is another 8 pairing the board.
Very brave indeed. Like,
Flush not quite as strong now.
all in.
Strong enough. Mallet shoves on Reichenstein.
Here we go.
All in to call.
I think I cover you, right? Yeah. So you call and it's over, baby. Like, you know, like Scott in Guyen, yeah? Like,
True story.
It's so sick that you're telling the truth and my hand is insanely strong.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have any strong hands. How can you have a strong hand? Like, you lead, like, never strong hand, never strong hand. So, just fold and I can go to the bathroom.
It's like I have a hand that's impossible to fold, and everything you say just makes it slightly possible. I don't like.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I just want to go to pee. I really want to pee, so. I'm just convinced, like, I don't know. I guess you could have like 9-10 or something, but I don't know.
What about 9-10? Is 9-10 good?
It's a straight, but like, I have queens in my range, jacks, sixes. You don't have those hands in your range, so.
I don't think you have any of those hands. I think you might have a flush though.
It's your choice, man.
Wow.
It's so sick. Nobody ever talks like you without having the nuts. It's so sick.
Totally agree.
Where is Mallet going?
How are you doing, guys?
Hey, how are you, man?
How are you?
Are you good? Okay, or what? You're going to win, no?
I'm going to win this. Like, I'm a winner. EPT champion over here.
Who's that guy?
Reichenstein calls, he loses it all.
You're so big, you are, man.
Yeah.
Did that guy just take a selfie with Mallet?
Is he a paid extra?
What is that, man? Jack Daniels?
Yeah. Do you want to?
Yes, please.
What is going on?
This is incredible. Poor Uri. Taking it well.
Reichenstein calls! And it's over!
I have no words, James. No words.
Sebastian Mallet has gone from poker fanboy to poker champion, taking down the biggest EPT of all time.
Best last hand ever. This little one is going to have quite the sugar crash. Oh, there he goes.
It is clear that this means the world to him.
Every emotion possible in the last 10 seconds.
Uri Reichenstein, the runner-up.
A great player, and he classed it up big time in the face of some pretty weird situations. Good for this kid, though.
Good job, man. Congrats.
He fell in love with the game watching his heroes on TV. He qualified for this tournament for just 27 euros. Sebastian Malitz will lift the trophy and earn himself a seven-figure sum, 1.1 million euros. One of the best moments in the history of the European Poker Tour.